Yeah, you tried to kill us. Hey, both of us.
He had a good time.
I had a great time.
I can't believe you had a good time because like, I spoke to Pete, and Pete left, right? And he was like, man, I don't know what to expect, man. He came back looking like the Caroline meme, one with the guy disheveled. Pete was like, man, why
you talking about Journey Across Japan?
Man? No, Non-Stop North.
Oh, Non-Stop Journey Across Japan.
Non-stop suffering. Non-stop shit.
Non-stop whinging from you.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, the tent's too small.
So, no. There's never a complaint about the tent size. I was more concerned with the heating.
Oh.
And you had like Jim and Bob from Sendai who had to look after us. He was like, oh yeah, just fucking build a tent on the fucking sand, mate. You go on it. He goes, this is my island. And we get on it. And you'd expect like some Jurassic Park. This is the island. And you get there and you're like, there's shit everywhere.
There's no shit.
There was like
the island was really nice. The problem was the sleeping bag was made out of shit.
And I go like, oh, so how much you pay for this island? He goes, oh, 200K.
Is that it?
I was like, what?
Jesus.
No, but and I was like, what can you do in the island? He goes, I can't build anything.
Why did he buy it?
I was like, what do you mean you can't build anything? It's not big enough. Can't build any can't build like pipes. Can't build electricity. Can't do anything.
Oh.
He's like, what can you do? He's like, tents, I guess. And I was like, great. What a great investment.
I really enjoyed that episode. I will admit, I woke up with like rigor mortis. I had the worst night's sleep of the last 10 years on that island.
Yeah.
And I was shivering and I was cold.
So
you portrayed it as like, we're all going to die.
He wouldn't tell me what we were doing for 3 days, which made me nervous. Because why wouldn't he tell me what we were doing?
First time on Journey Across Japan.
he wouldn't tell me. He only ever doesn't not tell me what we're doing when it's shit. If it was good, you'd tell me.
No.
Yes, you would.
Well, he never tells me anything about Journey Across Japan, and I have a good time.
You're staying in a 5-star hotel, Jerry.
Because you're used to it. You're used to it. I always get the shit. So he didn't tell me anything. And then 2 days before I go up, he sends me a waiver that I have to sign, saying that someone's not liable if I die.
That was the island, not me.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? You won't tell me what we're doing, and I have to sign a waiver? What the fuck is this? I was like,
the island, not me.
And I was like, legally, I think you have to tell me what we're doing. Because I can't legally sign a waiver to something I don't know. So he was like, well, camping. I was like, what? Camping in fucking January?
You knew it was December, and you knew it was an island in advance.
December is basically January. There's no difference. Yeah, so I knew it was an island, and
the secret got leaked anyway by good old Alex Shapiro
and then
Tokyo Portfolio.
Yeah,
told
fucking. I heard about it, so I brought some thermal gear, some really good
Wait, continue the story. I need to piss.
It was very good thermal gear I'd brought.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'll be all right because we'll have a good sleeping bag. Chris tells me that he's got like the Bear Grylls of Japan. He's got like the most seasoned travel expert.
Yeah.
And I rock up and they've got a boat that is stocked with more stuff than God.
There was a lot of stuff on that boat.
So much stuff. I was like, okay, maybe it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Turns out it was like 50% like of those little shitty like giant like puff things. The 10-cent
Umaibo.
Umaibo. It was like 50% Umaibo.
They were so good.
He brought like 5 sacks of Umaibo. He's like, I've got the food sorted.
That is survival food.
Exactly.
Bro.
And then he brought like...
We're only on the island like 24 hours.
I know, but that's why I was like, why did you bring...
If there'd been a nuclear war, we would have been perfectly fine on that island for like 3 weeks.
We were on the fucking coast. We'd have been hit by...
We'd have been fine.
Anyway, so he brings 50 bags of Umaibo, which I'm like, what...
We're eating good tonight, boys.
Yeah, I was like, and then he brought 12 beers, which is fine.
Yeah.
But for Natsuki, I was concerned because Natsuki, he's on like a beer. It's like in like a survival game, you have to eat X amount to survive.
Yes.
Natsuki needs X amount of beers every night. Otherwise, it becomes very cranky very quickly. So we're building this fire, but even when we get on the island, we're like, where the fuck are we supposed to sleep? These guys don't even know we're supposed to sleep. We climb the hill, which is really dicey because it's just a rope. You have to like abseil up.
There was a cliff and a hole.
It was awful. Yeah, it was shit. And then we were like, where do we camp? He's like, there is nothing to camp. We're like, what? He's like, go down on the sand and camp. We're like, okay. He's like, where do we shit? He's like, go climb up and dig a hole and shit.
Dig a hole, yeah.
But climb up a hill at like midnight when it's dark, pitch black. You have to go up a rope and take a shit.
There was lanterns leading to the toilet.
So you have to climb while you're sleeping. Like you wake up in the middle of the night, you do shit. You have to go. You have to get a rope and climb.
Yeah,
up
but who
a
wakes
rock.
up in the middle of the night on an island and goes, "I want to shit now"?
Some people need a shit.
You might. Nobody else did.
I was like, why can't I dig a hole in the sand and take a shit? Like, why do I have to climb up a hill?
So that's littering, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's not. So anyway,
This video, right? Before we get further in, I got so much hate for this video though. People were like, "You nearly killed Connor. You're disgusting."
No,
Because Connor talked about it on Trash
Kind of
Taste.
like heightened it, and also in the video,
no, it was definitely the most dangerous video I'd have done. But
No,
it wasn't
it
that
wasn't.
bad though.
Fuck
Like
off.
I never felt like I was going to die.
But
But it
like-
was just the most. It was so unpleasant.
But we deliberately edited the video, and I didn't. Unlike every Abroad Japan video, I didn't watch it at first before it went out because it was Journey Across Japan, Non-Stop North,
Yeah.
stupid maniacal series where it's like, I'll make a video every day and
Yeah.
then upload it. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
We got 1 week in, I was nearly dying.
Yeah.
And the editors made it, and I was like, make me look like a dick, even more than usual. So there's like shots of Connor like making a tent out of scraps and sand, and me just like,
You're just
like
standing
dancing
there.
around.
There was a good time lapse. I don't think we made it in the video, but it was me and Paul building the tents, and Chris. I think you were doing something. You're on your phone in the corner like this the whole time lapse while the tent's being
Because I was
built.
like, people think I
I
was
didn't see
like
that, yeah.
playing
So
fucking
funny.
solitaire or something. I was like working out the script and what was going to shoot.
You
right?
were, to be fair. You
I
were,
was
you were
working out.
video.
Yeah.
It just looked really funny.
Yeah,
Just me and
like, make the peasants.
I mean, building the tents, and it was funny. But the part that only annoyed me is that they were the guides that we brought with us. Guides, I think they were just random dudes.
Some guy found at the port.
We had a fire. They had a fire. Because we were filming stuff, so we had a fire separate from them. And at one point, they tried to put out my fire that I've been working really hard on. And I got really fucking annoyed.
Wait, why?
Because they were like,
You burnt the fucking forest down.
yeah, because they
It's
were like, we should make one fire instead. I was like, no, I'd worked really hard on this fire, and this is our fire. I don't want to put out this fire. And they were trying to put it out, and they're like, oh, let it go out, let it go out. I was like, no, this is our fire.
You burnt so much wood though.
So they had a whole.
It was like global warming went up 5 degrees that day.
They had-
Because Connor
they
like
had-
chopped down the bamboo
They
forest.
had like they cut down so much bamboo, and they must have had about 200 individual bamboo trees that had been dried out and were ready to burn. I think we went through all of them.
How big was this fire?
He was unstoppable. You
It
could
was
see
huge. It
You could
was
see it from
huge.
space. I have no doubt.
My
Like,
goal is that there was this
making
washed,
a help
there was
signal.
this washed up and like massive tree,
Ah.
and my goal was to get this tree burned by the end of the night.
Right.
So the entire day and night, I was just warming up this log that was soaked to be burned, and eventually I got through like half the log. It took a while,
brave man.
but it was, it was fun. It was just shit because the worst part is that Chris was like cracking the whip. He's like, "No shower for you, boy. We have to go and immediately film our next video for the next day." I was like, "Oh, I usually."
And there was a
can't have
sleeping
shower.
bag. You didn't like the sleeping bags, did
Oh,
you?
sleeping bag was so shit. It was like the one that I bought for our camping.
Yeah.
in January.
And that was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awful. So
Amazon quality
It was
one.
the thinnest Amazon.
We had to we had to snuggle up because it was so
Yeah,
cold.
we had to cuddle.
Yeah, we had to
So-
cuddle.
Nothing's worth that.
We put
I'd
down this
rather
thing.
hypothermia than
We put-
cuddle Connor.
We all had
Fucking hell.
we all had a mat each, like a very thin, like absolutely wafer thin mat to put down. And there's one extra, and of course, Chris was like, "Oh, take that one, put it on here." And then he passed me the sleeping bag, and I go, he's like, "Oh, here's your sleeping bag." I look at him, Amazon Basics.
He did the same fucking thing to me when we filmed in the jail as well. It was like, the guy was like, there is one mattress. And then Chris was like, I'll take that.
Motherfucker
Joey,
takes it.
you take the sleeping
I'm
bag and
the-
sleep on the hard floor.
I'm the producer of the video.
Oh,
I need my sleep, don't I?
I just think that we should have had a
The
different
talent,
system.
the talent needs to.
We're all
Buckle
talent.
up.
I'm only talent. You're producer.
I
So,
produced both those videos.
This is royal behavior right
So,
here.
so I had to. And the night got so cold. I think it went down to like -5.
So the main reason people thought I was a psychopath is because we eat sleeping bag and also the heaters, right? We get these little Kaidor heaters,
Yeah.
sand ones. We shake it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I was
We
furious.
had
I was livid.
we had a box of 200. But for some reason, Connor didn't know.
No one
Hadn't
told me.
Connor hadn't listened at the meeting because
There
he's
was no
too busy
meeting.
like
There was no
burning,
meeting.
too
There
busy
was no
burning the
meeting.
forest down.
There was no
And-
meeting.
And
There was no meeting.
There's a shot at the opening in the next morning where the tent opens and I've got like 50 and I'm like, oh God, I'm so cold.
Yeah.
What?
And then Connor's like, oh, he took them all. And
thought
it's
you'd
like,
taken them
no,
all.
I took 1/4 of our supply.
No
There was
one
still
told
like
me.
200 other Kaidor.
That's on you, bro.
Nobody told
He
me.
wasn't listening.
And
He
how was I
wasn't
supposed to have
listening.
the information? No, because I was busy building your tent.
But the truth is, the Kaidor did fuck all.
yeah, I know.
yeah.
But it would
I
have
was gonna say.
placebo effect. It would have done
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had to sleep, and I've never had have done this. Even on ours, I had to sleep where I fully enclosed the sleeping bag around me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's because you went to sleep in the car.
Yeah. No. Because we slept until like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and I got so cold.
You and I were in the car.
I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate you because I went to go in the car and it was full by the time I woke up.
Yeah, because obviously everyone had the same idea where they're like, I want to be warm.
Yeah.
Because the moment you wake up when it's that cold,
Yeah.
you cannot get back to sleep.
No.
It is
I couldn't
impossible.
get sleep.
So the moment in that time, it was like 5 a.m. because I remember it was sunrise. I just could not get back to sleep because I had to go pee. And I'd go, because we'd all been drinking the night before.
Yeah.
So I pissed a bunch, and then I just could not go back to sleep. I was like, fuck this, I'm going to the car. Unfortunately, on this island, there was no car. So when you pissed, it was game over. Because I remember very vividly.
I had to go to the toilet as well.
It was like 3 a.m. I could hear the tide going in and out. And I was like, I think I have to pee. Like, I can't hold it. So I go piss. But I knew the moment I got out
You
of
should
the
have just
sleeping
pissed
bag.
yourself. Get warm.
Oh, right, yeah, that definitely would have cooled down. So I left the sleeping bag knowing that it was bone. The moment I'd left the sleeping bag, I'll never get warm again.
Yeah.
Left the sleeping bag, went back, just could not fall asleep. I was so cold. I was shivering. I had 4 layers on me. Amazon basic sleeping bag. Did nothing. It was awful. And the whole time I heard fucking like crisp packets, Kairos being ripped open in his tent.
Crisp packets.
It sounded like crisp packets. You know, like the Cairo,
like
the plastic.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, there's the 5th one. Oh, there's the
They
6th
did
one.
nothing. Me and I woke up at the same
One.
issue. That series
It was awful.
was
And then the
was
next day,
stupid.
we'd already like fallen behind on everything because we just were miserable and we were feeling like shit. He's like, don't worry, you've got the best ryokan in all of Japan. And it was fine.
You had a private bath.
Did I?
No, no.
You had the private bath. He was like, I had a very basic ryokan room.
We filmed
And he's
you- we
"Connor,
filmed you in my
Connor,
room."
Come to my room. I want to film something. I go in, private bath in his room. I just keep somehow lucking into the shittest thing in this trip. I just somehow keep missing out on the good things. And then the next day he's like, oh, I don't know what to film. Let's just go to the tomb of Jesus Christ. I'm like, oh, great. And we go there and it's just shit. It's the
That
worst
was the
thing I've
highlight of the
seen.
journey. It's like it's run by a local yogurt factory.
Yeah. It would have gone into disarray had a local yogurt factory not picked it up and funded the whole thing. Why?
The Tomb of Christ in Japan is funded by a local yogurt factory.
But there's a lot of places in that area of Japan that apparently, a lot of weird like stuff that they've claimed, like Adam and Eve apparently is 15 minutes down the road. It's such a load of bollocks.
On a scale of 1 to
It's
desperate
so bollocks.
community.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Jesus.
It's such bollocks.
Wait, so what is this Tomb of Christ thing? Is it?
They claim that the Tomb of Christ is in Aomori.
Yeah.
There's a mound with a big wooden cross.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
That's it. That's the
And
Tomb
they've
of
got
Christ.
they've got a text
What
in
was the
English.
name of the Japanese guy who
Right.
took the hit for him?
Iskiri?
Ishikiri. His
Ishikiri.
twin brother. His twin
Tomb
brother.
of Christ.
On the far right, can you get the Christ? read that out. Yeah.
Christ's grave.
You want to read it out? Well, I got to see it. Oh, hold on, I'll read it out to you, Gant.
Okay.
I'll give you a zoom in.
This is what really happened after
When Jesus was 21 years old, he came to Japan and pursued knowledge of divinity for 12 years.
Okay.
He went back to Judea at age 33 and engaged in his mission. However, at that time, people in Judea would not accept Christ's preachings. Instead, they arrested him and tried to crucify him on a cross. His younger brother, Ishkuri, casually took Christ's place and ended his life on the cross.
God damn.
Christ, who escaped the crucifixion, went through ups and downs of the travels.
ups and downs.
And again came to Japan. He settled right here in what is now called Hirai village and died at the age of 106 on the holy ground that is dedicated a burial mound on the right to deity Christ and a grave on the left to deity Ishkiri. The above description was given in testament by Jesus Christ.
That's insane.
They just
There's a
made
lot to
fan
unpack
fiction.
there.
They
Yeah.
just made fan fiction.
His younger brother, Itskiri, casually took his place.
It's like, all right, mate, don't worry, I'll do it.
Like, I got you, bro.
I love the way his like 5,000
Oh, well,
mile journey is
those
referred to
days-
like
yeah, the
Yeah.
ups and downs of travel.
Just ups and downs.
Traveling across Mongolia, China. It's like, oh man.
Oh my god.
It's a
I
funny
love
old
it.
place.